World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Another pretty night in Atlanta for Game 3 between the first-place Mets and the hard-charging Atlanta Braves. Atlanta has won 8 consecutive games and 2 in a row in this series. With that, Vaughn Grissom and the Bravos now just 3.5 games behind the Mets, with 5 games left head-to-head, all of them here at Truist Park. This Braves hot streak is one big story, the biggest. Michael Harris last night signed an 8-year, $72 million contract. What a first 2 months for the Braves rookie. Hi again, everybody. Chip Caray, Jeff Francoeur. Welcome back to the ballpark. What can you say, buddy? A lot of big news for the Braves, and the core of this team now locked up for the foreseeable future.
Is there? Did something happen last
Yeah,
night?
right.
Because I think I was excited when I got home and learned that Michael Harris has inked with the Atlanta Braves for 8 more years. And not just that, what Alex has been able to do with all these guys and keep them around. I continue to say, the fans have come, they've flocked out here, the place has been packed. How does it happen? Because you have good players.
And you've got an 8-game winning streak, which we hope continues tonight behind Jake Odorizzi. This Braves offense has been outstanding. They'll have their hands full, though, because Max Scherzer's on the mound for the Mets.
Yeah, but you love what they've been able to do so far. And since that game in Flushing, to come back to be able to do this, runs per game, 6, and they've been over 900 OPS.
So there are your pitchers. You mentioned, Jeff, before the ball game. This will be a game of adjustments for Odorizzi on the mound and for the Braves hitters at the plate.
I feel like the hitters have kind of dove on Odorizzi. I think he's got to get the ball in on some of these righties. And look, the Braves had success against Max in the past 2 times this year, not so much. They need to adjust back to him if they're going to win the ball game tonight.
Hey, a chance for the Braves to win a series. The Mets have not lost an Eastern Division series yet this year. Tonight will be a perfect time for the first one of those. When we come back, Kelly Crow will join us. Michael Harris, his big new deal, the subject of not just Atlanta Braves fans, but all of Major League Baseball, as we get you set for Game 3 here at Truist Park on Bally Sports.
Country, the Atlanta kid is here to stay for some time. And boy, did he walk into that press conference with a $72 million smile on his face, and you saw the fit he had to go along with the style he plays with here on the field. And you know his teammates are thrilled for him. And in talking to Dansby Swanson this afternoon, he said, you know, I consider Michael Harris an X factor to this team. I've let him know as much. He's the glue that has basically kept our team, our lineup, and our defense together. And it's good to know that a guy like him that plays the way he does, a high character young individual, is going to be part of that core guys moving forward with this team for years to come. And it's certainly the culture that they're trying to build with sustainable success here.
Exactly right, Kelly. Great report, and congratulations to Michael Harris.
Yeah.
Hopefully he and his big contract will have a big night against the first-place Mets. The Braves, Jeff, have won the first 2 games of this series. And for their skipper, Buck Showalter, a new name joins their Toyota starting lineup. Brett Baty was just called up from AAA. Eduardo Escobar was placed on the injured list with a sore side. So Baty will debut for the Mets against Jake Odorizzi. You mentioned the adjustments. What do you see Jake Odorizzi doing in his first home start here at Truist Park?
Yeah, I talked to him for a minute on the bus in Miami, and the big thing that he talked about was I got to go in a little bit. And he said these guys are diving out on me, so look to him to change things up. He's a smart pitcher. He's had a lot of success, so he's got to do that. And that's kind of what my 4 keys are, Chip, to lead off. Work inside. Do not let these hitters get comfortable. And against Max Scherzer, adjust. Braves have hit him in the past this year, though, 14 innings and only 1 run. And he has racked up the strikeouts against this Atlanta Braves team, 20 in those 2 starts. But again, they can draw from the past. They've done good work. And last thing with Michael Harris, I'll say this. Well-deserved for him, Chip. It's no coincidence this team got going when that kid came to center field.
So the Braves have gotten going in this series. They've outscored the Mets 18-1 in the first 2 games. A 5-0 shutout last night. New York had just 3 hits. Brandon Nimmo had 1 of them, and you guessed it, it was an infield hit. And Jake Odorizzi is off to a good start against the Mets leadoff man. It's a comfortable 78-degree night. There you go, inside pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nimmo has done most of his damage on the road for the Mets, where he's reached base in 24 straight games. Won't reach this time, as Harris will handle his first chance, and a soft fly ball for out number 1.
Now just keeping him off the base to start the game is a win.
First time that's happened. Nimmo has infield hits in the first inning in the first 2 games. So 1 away for Starling Marte, who, knock on wood, is hitless so far in the series. Marte hit into a couple of double plays last night. And up and away from Jake Odorizzi.
How good was Charlie Morton last night?
Even the Mets were saying his curveball was devastating last night.
I read that.
And it was. Morton now with a 19 1/3 inning scoreless streak on his home mound. Finished with 12 strikeouts. And when you say you've struck out 12 Mets, Jeff, that is really saying something.
Yeah, most any starter had struck out this year against the Mets was 10 in a game.
So 2-0 for Marte. And this one cracked to center. Harris on the run. At the 400 sign, won't get it. A line drive home run for Starling Marte. It's 1-0. Well, you knew you had to score at least 1 to get to Max Scherzer. Now you've got to get 2. As Starling Marte has his first hit of the series.
Yeah, 2-0 pitch. You can see Jake had to kind of throw a strike here, and it was down in the zone where Marte likes it. Drops that bat head.
So a splashdown hit for Marte, his 13th home run. And here is Francisco Lindor. Lindor, a 2-hit game last night. Singles in the 4th and the 7th innings. And he drives one deep to right. Back-to-back homers for New York. Mets taking out a little offensive frustration here. Braves had held them to 1 run in the first 2 games. They have homers on back-to-back pitches and a 2-0 lead.
Another fastball that he gets out in front of and clips it into the chop house.
So 21 home runs for Lindor. Here's Pete Alonso. 4th set of back-to-back homers hit by the Mets. Alonso has been cooled of late, batting 185 over the last 8 games. This one hit into the gap in left center. Grossman makes a diving catch. Good play by Robbie. 2 outs.
I think at first he got a little confused with how hard this ball was hit, but good makeup speed, and he took the right angle. Was able to make the slide and catch.
So Daniel Vogelbach is the batter. He was hitless last night. One of the secrets for Charlie Morton's success in the game last evening. The Mets 4, 5, 6, and 7 hitters were 0 for 11 and struck out 8 times.
Games 1 and 2, they've done a great job, this Braves pitching staff, of keeping the middle part of this lineup. Lineup's not as deep as the Braves lineup, so.
That's upstairs for Vogelbach. It's 2-0. Vogelbach's done a nice job since coming over. The DH spot was a big problem for the Mets most of this season. He has single-handedly changed that. And a 4-pitch walk comes with 2 outs. And now Jeff McNeil, the hitter. Feast or famine series for McNeil. He had a 4-hit game here on Monday. Struck out 3 times here last night.
Yeah, the big strikeout, Dylan Lee, in that top of the 7th with 2 outs, and first and second coming in to get the big strikeout of McNeil.
Matt Olson looked into the Braves dugout. Atlanta told him, go ahead and play behind Vogelbach with McNeil up. We'll expect Daniel to run here. And there's a strike up in the zone.
Yeah, you play just enough behind him that you keep him there a little bit, but at the same time you're telling him, go ahead, go ahead.
I think Dan's saying, what, you don't respect my speed? Lifted left side. Will it stay in play for Riley? It will not, off the back of the netting, but McNeil's behind. 0-2. McNeil has the highest batting average in Major League Baseball this month. Historically a tough man to strike out. He puts that in play and it's right back to the mound, and that will end the inning. The Mets get back-to-back homers on back-to-back pitches. Marte and Lindor make it 2-0 for Max Scherzer. Games and have a +33 run differential in this red hot run. Ronald Acuna Jr. personifies that atop the Toyota starting lineup. Harris, Grissom, and Grossman 7th, 8th, and 9th. Be interesting to see how the rookies handle Max Scherzer, one of the game's greats and on his way to the Hall of Fame. Max Scherzer closing in on 200 career wins.
Yeah, you see that 0 walks in the last 62 batters, pounds that zone. 14 innings against the Braves this year, only 1 run and 20 strikeouts. Austin Riley hit the only home run against him for a right-handed hitter off Scherzer this year. So maybe that's some good news.
First pitch swing by Acuna, driven down the right field line, but curling foul at the pole. It's no balls and a strike. Ronald got hot when the Braves were in New York. He has not stopped hitting since.
Or walking.
Well, yeah, did that too. He's been on base in 10 of his last 14 plate appearances for the Braves. And 4 walks, as you mentioned, for Ronald last night.
Yeah.
First time he's ever done that as a big leaguer. Always have to put that qualifier in. Pitch is popped out of play, foul. Jeff, you mentioned the Atlanta offensive adjustments that need to be made. Repeat them for us. What do you hope the Braves can accomplish against Max Scherzer tonight?
Well, I think for one, you got to try to find a way to put the ball in play some. You know, just maybe cut down the swings a little bit. Because Max has pitched a lot different more, you know, as he's gotten older. He still can reach back and get it, but he's relying more now on the changeup, the cutter. You know, a lot of those pitches, not just fastball slider.
There's a good take, and Acuna a full count. That's it, 2 solo homers in the first. The Braves, as you know, have power 1 through 9 on the lineup card. Slowly hit toward Lindor. He will glove, he will grab, he will gun, and got his man by a half step. Softly hit, and Lindor gets Ronald for out number 1.
And that was all location on that pitch. Fastball in and jammed him.
Dansby's getting hot again. He's got 7 hits in his last 4 games for the Braves. Swanson with 3 RBIs in the series. First pitch swing skied toward right center. And Nimmo will gather this one in. And quickly Scherzer has his second out. What wind there is blowing toward right and right center tonight. We'll see if that's favorable for the Braves. And here is that man you mentioned, Austin Riley.
Yeah, he's got the only home run off Max this year for a right-handed hitter. It's so funny, a lot of people ask, what's the difference with Scherzer, DeGrom? DeGrom's got stuff that, quite frankly, can just embarrass you when he gets going. Max, I'll say this, playing against him, watching him, he's the ultimate competitor when he's out there. So that's the thing. You know you have to have a good approach and ready to go when you're facing him.
Oh, up and in, and that got Riley on the left arm.
Right on the top part of that pad.
Well, that brings the tying run to the plate. You know what time it might be?
Pergola time.
Atta boy. Matt Olson, a mammoth homer here last night. And that one way high. As we've been saying for the last several weeks, the Braves have been one of the best 2-out-run scoring teams in Major League Baseball. Atlanta has 7 2-out RBIs in this series. And Matt Olson, 25 homers, 79 RBIs. 4 of his last 10 hits have left the ballpark. He goes deep here. Truist Park will come unglued. 2 balls, no strikes. More balls than strikes for Max Scherzer. Buck Showalter needs innings from Max tonight.
Yeah, really the next 2 nights with what his bullpen's had to endure the first 2 games.
See if Matt has a green light. He did, and it's popped up back toward us. So here's the homer last night. Not many people, if any, have gone here at Truist.
I told you, I don't remember seeing the last deck right here, as you can see, over the chop house off that Coors Light sign.
That was a big league home run.
Yeah.
They give Matt the whole left side of the infield on a 3-1 pitch. He was on his way to first. Will Little has the plate, called that a strike.
That's frustrating there, because that Matt should, especially McCann was standing up too on 3-1.
Well, Riley will get a head start. Alonso plays behind him with a 3-2 count. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss. And that retires the side. Instead of ball 4, it's strike 3, and the Mets hold serve and lead 2-0. Presented by Truist, the Mets have a 2-0 lead after 1 inning. Mark Canha, Brett Baty, who will make his major league debut, and then James McCann are coming up for New York. Canha's 1 for 5 in the series, hitting .264. See if Odorizzi has a easier time of it here in the second. Driven toward right. Acuna on the run. He's not going to get it. It's a leadoff double for Canha. Jake's going to pitch to contact, but right now the Mets are barreling him. That's 3 hard hit balls for them in an inning plus.
I'll see there, he's trying to go cutter away, and it just backs right up over the middle of the plate. And Jake knows that he doesn't throw 98, so for him, he's got to be able to hit corners. He hit the first pitch to him, second one came back over, and Canha smoked it to right center.
Well, this should bring back some memories for you. This is the first big league at bat for Brett Baty. First round pick of the Mets back in 2019, a high schooler out of Texas. He's 22 years old.
Everything I've been told, he's a good hitter. I think 19 home runs this year. Defensively, he's had his moments, they said, where he struggled a little bit at third. Like anything, he's up here at a necessity right now with some of the injuries. They trying to, jumpstart an offense a little bit.
Fly ball well hit right. Acuna as far as he can go, and Baty has hit a home run. First at bat, first big league game, first swing, 2-run homer. Wow.
Curveball, and he caught it out front.
That reminds me of your parents.
Moment. Yeah. Wow.
So 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Odorizzi's given up 3 home runs. And now we've got a fight on our hands with Max Scherzer on the hill. Brett Baty in his Mets debut, the toast of the town, a 2-run homer. Well, you want to be welcome to New York in the right way. That's exactly how you do it, right?
A team that's only scored 1 run in the last 2 games before tonight.
James McCann to center. Wendell knocked out into Harris's glove. There's out number 1. So back to the top of the order, Brandon Nimmo, who flied out. Odorizzi not off to the start he was hoping for with the Braves. And Nimmo had a healthy cut. Little dribbler down the line. Who wants it? It'll be Olson. So Odorizzi gets Nimmo to roll out. That's the second out. And here is Starling Marte, who splashed down in the first inning.
Baty was the 5th Met chip in the history of the organization to homer in his first at-bat. First since Mike Jacobs as a New York Met.
One ball, one strike. That's lined over Dansby's head. Let's have 5 hits. Marte is 2 for 2.
Sometimes what that can do too, you know, I think back to when Michael Harris came up, it kind of ignited this team. Vaughn Grissom, same thing. He came up to that for that second night in Fenway. You know, it can inject into your clubhouse. And the first 2 nights we saw it down there for the Mets, their dugout was pretty silent.
And as you said, it's a position of need for them with Guillorme hurt, with Escobar hurt at third base. They traded J.D. Davis to bring in Darren Ruff. So Max Scherzer has a 4-0 lead thanks to 3 New York home runs here in the first 2 innings. That was an effective inside pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Riley moves about 10 yards to his left with Lindor up. So Marte will be running with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. There goes Marte. Lindor pops it up right into the shift. And Austin Riley is under and gathers that in. And that retires the side. Brett Baty will never forget his first big league game. He's hit a 2-run homer in his debut. Look, Cam, time for the Braves bats to go to work. They've got 8 innings left to come back against Max Scherzer, who's been given a 4-0 lead. Here in the second, Rosario, Contreras, and Michael Harris will be the hitters.
You want the bad news or the good news first?
Good news first.
No, let's do bad. It sets up better. I'm sorry, I should have just.
Okay, you want to ask the question
Well,
again?
you said given a 4-run lead. Scherzer's 100-0 when given a 4-run lead in his career. So that's bad news. Good news is you still got 8 more innings to score some runs here.
And a dynamic Braves offense, as that one's rolled foul by Eddie Rosario. It's good to see Eddie back in the lineup after a hamstring scare a couple of games ago. And with that leg in mind, he's acting as the Braves designated hitter. Needs to get another left-handed bat in there against Scherzer.
Yeah, I like that move, especially with him being able to come back today.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Way up and out of the strike zone. And Rosario is out number 1. Here's Contreras. Williams got an 8-game hitting streak. He's 9 for 34 in that stretch. 7 hits this year against the Mets. 3 of them have left the ballpark. Here's a start. Nice approach. And there goes the no-hitter for Max Scherzer. A 1-out single to right.
Man, looks like Contreras changed it up a little bit. Kind of cut down on his swing there. Got a first pitch fastball in the zone. Shot it through the hole.
Well, what a 24 hours it's been for this young man, Michael Harris. A life-changing contract. 8 years, $72 million signed late last night. And I agree with you 100%. When he came up, the Braves season turned around.
Yeah.
And so the next step in his evolution, in Vaughn Grissom's evolution. How do they fare against a man with over 3,000 major league strikeouts?
Look, I don't think you have to add any pressure to yourself when people say, oh, well, let's wait and see what they do against, you know, Scherzer, DeGrom. Well, shoot, you can say that about a lot of big league players. You know, let's see what. Don't try to do anything more. You don't have to prove your contract. You know, they feel good about what they gave you and you deserved it. Just go out there and play baseball.
1 ball, 1 strike. With Contreras at first base. Right into the shift. And Lindor, a quick stumble, fires to first in time. And it's a double play to end the Braves' second. 4-0 New York. We head to the 3rd inning.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Brett Baty, a big home run for the Mets, who enjoy a 4-0 lead early in Game 3 in Atlanta. Represent your alma mater this year at Truist Park with the College Nights ticket packages. You'll get a Braves co-branded stadium seat and a Braves ticket too. Upcoming College Nights include the University of Kentucky and Alabama on September 1st. Auburn's turn is September 4th. Get your tickets today at Braves.com/College Nights. Odorizzi will face 4, 5, and 6 for the Mets. Alonso, Vogelbach, and Jeff McNeil. A couple of MVP candidates are squaring off in this series. Austin Riley for our team. Pete Alonso for the Mets.
I thought possibly the number 2 and 3 guys right now, right behind Goldschmidt, I would say.
Fly ball to left. Robbie Grossman is under and's got it. That takes care of Pete Alonso for the 2nd time. 1 up, 1 down. Kelly, Jake could use an easy inning. I know he wants to make a good impression. He's kept the Braves in a couple of games, but rough start here tonight.
Yeah, this is certainly not how he wanted to perform here tonight. And he's talked about what you just said, Chip. I mean, you come over to another team that's competing to win a division. You want to perform at your best, and he is dealing, he said even before he left Houston, just mechanics are a bit off. And one of the things he did mention was being a little too quick on the upper half and it throwing everything off. So I know he and Cranny have been working a lot on that in their bullpen sessions, but Frenchie, you talked to him about getting inside, and he's mentioned the location for him. It's really been something that he just hasn't found yet.
Yeah, and Kelly, that's the perfect example. Location for him. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. When he has been successful, he's been able to hit corners, move quadrants, up, down. The start before he came to Atlanta, went 7 innings against Seattle, struck out 8 or 9. And that's a good offensive team right now. So it's just, you know, again, this Mets team, he's made a few mistakes tonight, and they have not missed it. Hopefully he can turn it around.
Good try, just missed the inside corner. 3-1 for Vogelbach. And look, anytime you go to a new team, again, you want to make a good impression. To Kelly's point, Odorizzi's coming to the defending world champs.
Yeah.
We're trying to chase down the Mets in the East. That was a good pitch. Full count. So Riley will make his way back to the left side of the infield with a 3-2 count. Vogelbach walked in the Mets 2-run first. Popped up and playable for Dansby. Soft contact takes care of Vogelbach for the first time. 2 outs. Jeff McNeil the hitter, but first a quick word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with Tongue Torch, Zax Sauce, or any of our sauces.
Now, see, that's where he's got to succeed. That pitch right there to Vogelbach, inner half, jammed him. Think about the home runs. Marte out over the plate. Lindor, first pitch, middle. Beatty just a flip over curveball that got too much of the zone up.
And for a team that doesn't do a lot of chasing, doesn't do a lot of swing and miss,
yeah,
if you make a mistake in the strike zone, they're going to hit it someplace. But he's 1 batter away from a 1-2-3 inning as a light rain begins to fall here at Truist. We'll send some of the customers to the concourses, and McNeil awaits a 1-1 pitch. Is something wrong with Jeff McNeil? Remember, McNeil has a cut on his hand. I wonder if that cut on the thumb opened up on that last swing.
Boy, something did. You could tell him grimace right away.
Right wrist, maybe?
I don't know, even if something did open up, I guarantee the last thing you want to do is take that. Seemed to be. I'm coming right back inside now.
And Jake did, and McNeil didn't get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I don't know if that cut open or he hurt his wrist. I don't know, but if Jake can make that same pitch again, you do it.
Little dribbler to the line. Odorizzi back flip over the hand of Olsen, and McNeil is going to reach safely. With 2 strikes, another Met infield hit. McNeil slammed on the brakes, fell to the dirt, and with a bad glove backhand flip, he's aboard.
McNeil just flopping all over the place to get to first. Give that a E1.
Some more soft contact for the Mets, but again, they put it in play, and the Braves have a runner at first. They gave McNeil an infield hit. Of course they did. The Mets now have 23 of their 151 infield hits against the Braves.
I'm going to have to disagree with that one, Chip. That's all I'll say.
They've got him picked off, but Rizzi didn't break contact with the rubber. Well, Richard Musterer is our official scorer. Which is a good guy, good baseball man.
He is. Just disagree with it.
So 4 runs on 6 hits for the Mets as the rain now picks up in intensity. Well, if it rains for an hour, hour and a half, might get Scherzer out of the game. 2 balls, no strikes. That one off the glove of Contreras, and McNeil will move up on a gift. That was a passed ball, and now it's a 3-0 count for Mark Canha, who doubled and scored in the New York second. So Brett Baty coming up. Hard to top what he did in his first big league at bat, partner.
No, he got a hanging breaking ball and an 0-1 pitch, and first swing ever in the show. 2-run homer. You said 5th Met, as you see his family there. Special moment for them.
One ball, no strikes. Mets took a page out of the Braves playbook. This kid had only 6 games at AAA Syracuse when they brought him up.
Yeah.
The way that Grissom and Michael Harris were performing. There's another miss. 6 in a row from Odorizzi, who's having trouble drying off here. The rain has all but stopped just past 8 o'clock here at Truist Park. The Braves bullpen might start to work here. Jake's back in the count. There was a split finger pitch. It's 2-2. Tyler Matzek is getting up. It's the 3rd inning. The 2-2 is on the ground, right to short. And Dansby will take care of Brett Baty for the 3rd out in the 3rd inning. 4-0 Mets. Vaughn Grissom leads off. As we head to the home third inning on a rainy night at Truist Park, the MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Atlanta's beautiful baseball home. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Grissom, Grossman, and Acuna are coming up.
Let's see if you can strike back here for a couple.
Braves have one hit. That is single by Contreras. And that's upstairs. How hard is it for a guy like Vaughn Grissom to be facing a guy that he grew up watching?
Yeah, let me tell you, that's the hardest part. When you talk about Michael Harris last inning, is respecting him, but not, you know, you're in the big leagues now. You can't give him too much credit. I remember my rookie year facing Kerry Wood, you know, Roger Clemens in the playoffs, and you're kind of at awe because these are guys you grew up loved watching. But again, you got to believe that you have the right to be here too.
No swing, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And so that's, you kind of get that, hey, I'm going to get over it moment, and now you got to play. Because you know that guy out there is trying to get you out.
Oh, sure. And it's got to be hard thinking he's just another guy.
Yeah.
But he's not.
No, he's not. And guys know that. You can say it all you want.
Well, how about that? Made contact, and he drives it into right field for a base hit.
There you go.
2 opposite field hits for the Braves against Max Scherzer. That might be a good plan of attack.
Now you come back to the dugout and say, guys, he's not that good. That one kind of spun on Max, and Grissom did a good job staying inside it.
Hit it through the raindrops.
Yeah.
And here's Grossman, who hit his first homer as a Brave here last night. That was a 3rd inning thunderbolt. One of those here would cut the Mets lead in half. It's 4-0. Game 3 of 4. Now the rain really starting to come down. And you know the Mets do not want a long rain delay. Not with all the bullpen work, not with the injuries to Carrasco and Taijuan Walker.
Welcome to Atlanta in the summer.
Just how we like it. And I think we're going to stop. Umpire at second base, Todd Tichenor, is telling Max Scherzer we're going to have a delay. So at 8:12, rain interrupts the proceedings here in Atlanta. So Ed Mangan and his grounds crew will race out. So the mound is covered. They're working hard to get the home plate area covered with the tarp. And now the grounds crew rolls out the big infield protective cover, and they'll try to get the infield covered here as quickly as they can here in the Atlanta 3rd inning. So Vaughn Grissom has a base hit to lead off the inning, and we've got a rain delay here at Truist Park. Forecast I'm seeing, Jeff, off and on rain here for not the next 30-40 minutes. But as you said, with the heat and humidity this time of year, we've been getting pop-up thunder showers pretty much all week long since we've been home, and the forecast the rest of the week and weekend is for similar weather for the Braves, the Mets, and the Houston Astros, who come in beginning on Friday. So the Atlanta grounds crew just about set to get the infield covered up. And we are in a rain delay here at Truist Park. 4-0. New York has an early lead.
Another 5 days, so certainly terrific news for someone who's been off the field now, guys, for nearly 2 years. But on the field, it looks like Max Scherzer And the Braves and Mets are ready to go, Chip.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. Max Scherzer was ready to go about 2 minutes after the tarp got pulled on.
I was going to say, he was down there basically telling Ed Bingham, I'll help you pull the tarp.
Yeah, he was in the dugout, came out, talked to the umpires. When they started pulling the tarp out, went all the way out to the Mets bullpen and warmed up. Then I presume he went back in to the tunnel area where the batting cages are on the visitor side, probably threw some pitches in there, and now has a few warm-up tosses in game 3 after our delay of now 33 minutes.
Smoltzy texted me, said it's not raining at his house. Well, it's not raining here anymore either, John, so we're starting up.
That's right, and the ballpark's not at John's house, so it doesn't really matter whether it's raining at the Smoltz palatial estate here in Atlanta. Buck Showalter obviously will look on with a keen interest. He doesn't want to lose Max Scherzer and have to use his bullpen, but I wouldn't think, Jeff, a half hour is much of a delay for a guy that's been around the block as long as Max has been.
No, I think both these guys are totally fine. Like you said, not a long delay, and we're about to find out if it was any effects from that.
So let's reset the game for you. The Mets got 2 homers in the first inning, back-to-back shots from Marte and Lindor. In the second inning, Brett Beatty in his first major league at bat, his first major league swing, hit a 2-run homer that gave the Mets a 2-0 lead. The Braves got a hit batsman in the first, a 1-out single from Contreras. He was erased on a double play, and then here in the third, Vaughn Grissom in his first look at Max Scherzer didn't hit it hard, but got a base hit.
He did.
And he's aboard with nobody out, and Robbie Grossman coming back into the batter's box. So you see the count on your Bally bar, 1 ball, 1 strike. We're asked all the time, we know what the pitchers do during rain delays. What do the position players try to do?
Well, this one's not long, so they were probably mostly just kind of hanging out. Usually if you get an hour one, you're going to drop some cards somewhere in there.
It is still raining, albeit very lightly here in the Atlanta third, as Scherzer back to work. So a 34-minute rain delay officially. And sure enough, the rain coming down harder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Obviously, with the rain, grip becomes an issue for the pitchers. Can they keep the hand dry enough yet moist enough to have command of their pitches?
You know, I think that used to be worse back. Now they have so many balls, you almost get a ball every pitch if you want one. So
1-2 count.
I think where it becomes more of an issue now is ground balls to the infield, line drives to the outfield, and you get it and it's wet. That's when it can become difficult.
And staying on the base.
Yeah,
I've seen guys get hurt with the slippery tops of the bases causing some leg and knee injuries, so you've got to be cognizant of that as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Robbie Grossman. All help is appreciated from the bottom of this Braves order, Jeff, which has been so good of late. 8-9 hitters have really fed the top. And the grounds crew poised to spring into action if the rain falls any harder. Ball 4, 2 on, top of the order coming up. Good at bat by Grossman. So our Synovus Get There feature is the man at the top of the order. Jeff told you how good Ronald has been. Look at what he's done this month.
Yeah, since month of August, he's got a 61% hard hit rate, the second best in the NL. That average has come up 259 to 278. So that start and flushing kind of really got him going.
Ronald grounded out his first time up. Get a couple back here and see where it takes you. And a slow roller hit toward third. Beatty's first chance, and his throw on the money. That will advance the runners. They're at second and third, and one out for Dansby Swanson.
You know, after Grissom kind of had to wait a second, I was surprised Beatty didn't just run over and touch third base. Kind of a break for the Braves.
Could have been a double play. Instead, a single gets you 2 runs.
Yeah, I think with Acuna's speed, you probably wouldn't have got him at first. But like I said, to keep runners at first and second, now ground ball gets a run and a base hit gets 2.
Dansby popped out to center his first time up. And laid off that pitch low. Ball 1. He has been one of the most consistent hitters for the Braves all year in spots like this. And tried to make it a 1-run game. You're really going to have to hit it hard to left. The wind is blowing now left to right toward the chop house.
I think that's why this is a good chance for Dansby. Let it get deep, drive it the other way. You remember up in New York last Sunday, we saw him take one from DeGrom and hit it in that bullpen in right center for a 2-run homer.
Scherzer not as sharp after the rain delay. Two balls, 1 strike. Swing, fly ball center. Nimmo going back. Warning track and room up against the wall. That'll score 1. And the Mets have to hustle the ball back to the infield because Grossman was thinking about coming around to score. Dansby drives 1 to center, and the Braves get a run back.
Let me tell you, I know he was the right play there. Man, Dansby disappointed. He squared that ball up, needed just a little bit more. He could have had one off the wall or even a 3-run homer. Great at bat, though.
Nimmo took some punishment up against the wall. Right into that chain link grate.
Yeah.
So here's Austin Riley. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Here's your team leader in 2-out RBIs. Riley has 32 of those. 32 of his 74 RBIs this year come in this spot. Good breaking ball. And it's now 1-2. Almost 50-50 split balls and strikes for Scherzer after the rain delay here. Now Riley has to protect.
Good eye.
That's been called a strike a time or 2 already tonight from Will Little, so good break for Riley. Even count.
And just went that. You wonder if he's going to come back with that slider again on the outer part.
Riley is called out at the plate. Will Little rings up Austin Riley. Strike 3. Austin argues with Will Little. Brian Snitker wants to know if it was a swing or a check, or the pitch was called a strike. Brian Snitker said, "You called that a strike," and he just got run. Brian Snitker is ejected on a collarbone high pitch called a strike 3 on Austin Riley. Wow. Brian Snitker ejected for the first time this year, arguing balls and strikes. Austin Riley called out on a pitch that was out of the strike zone to end the Braves' third inning. But we get a run back. It's 4-1. And now it's Jake Odorizzi's turn to work after the 34-minute rain delay. He'll face McCann, Nimmo, and Marte.
We're going to show it in a minute, Chip, and talk about it. My issue is, I've said, Matt Olson in the first inning. Now, when a catcher is standing up and the ball's up, that's not a strike.
Line drive into left field, and Grossman is there. So let's take a look at strike three to Austin Riley.
Well, the one before it was pretty much the same spot. Look where the catcher, I mean, he's all the way up. And like you said, if he wanted to tell Snit or say, look, I got him swinging, I think it's one thing. But when he says it's a strike, ball's all the way up past his mask.
They could have called that on a check swing. They didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they wanted to call it a check swing, that's a whole nother story.
And I'm sure for Austin, what's so frustrating, the pitch before called ball two was almost identically high.
And then you go back. Well, see that? I mean, what the heck's the difference in that pitch? And you go back to think about it. Matt Olson had 3-1 in that first inning. Not saying you would have scored, but all of a sudden you would have had first and second.
Brandon Nimmo didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Will Little, the home plate umpire, has become part of the storyline in the early innings. Braves are only down 3 runs. We're in the 4th. Nimmo is 0 for 2.
And like you said, I think that's the big thing too. You confuse a hitter. Austin Riley, that's why he didn't even know that he had been called out, because he's thinking, well, I took the pitch before and it was the same pitch.
So Walt Weiss, the Braves bench coach, takes over the lineup card for Brian Snitker. And a swing and a miss takes care of Nimmo. So a reset and a restart for Jake Odorizzi. Quickly, 2 up, 2 down. That's his first strikeout tonight.
Good splitter. And I'll just say this. I know you don't see managers get tossed as much anymore because of all the replay and everything. I can get a team fired up. See your manager out there going to bat for you, especially your MVP of the team.
Here's starting Marte. He's 2 for 2. They look as good as every major league pitcher is. Hitters will tell you they don't need the extra help. Right?
Especially Max Scherzer.
Exactly. So the cutter has Marte behind, 0-2. Olson, Rosario, and Contreras are coming up for the Braves in the home half of the 4th. 4-1 is your score. On the ground, Riley's got that. And Jake Odorizzi, a 1-2-3 4th inning.
There you go.
He's doing what he's done. He's keeping the Braves in the game. 3-run deficit. Right guys coming up. Hit safely in 8 consecutive games, and he's our Zaxby's indescribably good player.
Yeah, you love what the first baseman's done. You see he scored 8 runs in those last 8 games. He's hitting .318 with a 1.102 OPS during right-handed pitchers during that streak. So good work by Matt. Scherzer, 12 of his 23 earned runs this season, Chip, have come in the 4th inning. Kind of a weird stat, but something that is pretty interesting.
Well, again, this heart of the order for the Braves has been doing good work. Let's see if they can pull us a little closer on this rainy night. 4-1 Mets. Matt struck out his first time. 2-2. Scherzer has to pitch carefully to Matt Olson, who's driven home 14 runs against the Mets this year and leads the club in walks, so he's not just up there swinging freely. Full count. Wind still blowing toward right for Olson. And Scherzer came back to get him. One away in the home fourth. Eddie Rosario, the batter. Want to work that pitch count if you can against Scherzer.
Yeah.
Get into this Mets bullpen early, because you don't want to mess with Diaz if you can avoid it. In a 4-1 game, Scherzer's given up 2 hits. One of those hits turned into the lone Braves run. Here's Eddie. And he goes after the first one and skies that off to our left. Strike one.
Rosario a little frustrated with himself. He's got a couple good pitches to hit. The first 2 and fouled them both off.
Fourth choice for Scherzer.
I want the curveball.
I would assume, Jeff, that's what makes him so tough. There is no pattern. There's no way for a hitter to predict or even guess right against Max Scherzer.
And now later in his career too, because he does sprinkle in those other pitches more frequently.
Breaking ball gets Rosario. 3 straight strikeouts for Max Scherzer. He's gotten Eddie twice. Here's Contreras. Braves have 2 hits. Both of them hit the other way.
Yeah, Contreras last time didn't waste any time. First pitch and shot it through the hole
to extend his hitting streak to 9 straight. And he tried to ambush him again, but Scherzer
gave him the slider that time.
Said, here you go, kid. Nothing, and won the count. There's no way to predict how one pitch can impact the game, but boy, that's sequenced Austin Riley. If he had found a way to get on, the Braves would have had the tying run represented by Matt Olson in the plate with the wind blowing toward right. Who knows what would have happened. But that strike 3 call on a pitch that clearly was out of the strike zone is a big play in this game. Max Scherzer just struck out the side, and that sends us to the 5th inning. Mets in command of game 3, 4-1 after 4 in Atlanta. A weekend series with the Marlins and with another exciting bobblehead giveaway. The first 15,000 fans get the Ronald Acuna Jr. bat flip bobblehead, brought to you by Xfinity. And yes, Jeff, we're told the bat actually spins. That's a one-of-a-kind collectible. Get it with your tickets at Braves.com/promos.
That'll be pretty cool. I don't see that too often.
Francisco Lindor leads off the 5th for the Mets. Odorizzi had a 1-2-3 4th. It's almost like he's a little fresher and a little crisper after his restart.
Or you just think maybe he got to the point of, you know what, where he said, forget this, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to throw an attack. Sometimes it takes you getting frustrated.
Downstairs, it's an even count. Braves 3.5 back of New York. Win tonight gets us 2.5 back and would win the series. For the Braves, head to head with New York. Mets have not yet lost a series within the division so far this year. They're 39-17 against Eastern foes. The Braves are 31-21 against the division so far this year. Two and two for Francisco Lindor, who's had a terrific rebound season at shortstop in New York. Tapped right back to the mound, and a nice comeback for Odorizzi. He gets Francisco Lindor, and Jake has retired 5 straight hitters. 1 out. Get ready, Robbie. The ball's coming to you because Pete Alonso's hit it to left twice.
Yes.
Pete Alonso at 277 on the year. But he's a little cold right now for the Mets, who are in the midst of a tough part of their schedule. Got one more game with the Braves here tomorrow night. Then the Mets head up to Philadelphia. They've got a doubleheader with the Phillies coming up. 4 games in 3 days. And then right after that series, Jeff, they've got to go to Yankee Stadium and play their crosstown rivals in the Bronx.
Well, they might be hitting the Yankees at the right time, though.
Yeah, the Yankees have
a lot of heat going on up there.
Really struggled of late.
I always tell people it's a great place when you went up there early in the year. Think about it, for 3 months, couldn't do anything wrong, and now it's the end of the world.
And the Astros have passed them for the best record in the American League. And Houston's coming here on Friday. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A World Series rematch this weekend at Truist Park.
Should be some great crowds this weekend.
Two and 2 for Alonso. Well, the Braves try to catch the Mets for the divisional lead and a first-round bye. Atlanta comfortably in front of Philadelphia for the first wild card. Braves, Phillies, and Padres would be the wild card representatives at the moment in the National League. Milwaukee 2 games out of the playoff picture as they're in second place behind the St. Louis Cardinals. Fun time of year, fun time to watch the scoreboard. And especially so in Atlanta tonight, where the Braves and Mets go head to head after tonight. 4 games left between these Eastern Titans, and they're all here in Atlanta, including the final 3 games of the regular season. Alonso will see a 7th pitch.
Well, he's doing a great job of, especially with Pete, we talked about tonight, keeping him off balance. This sequence, forcing fastball, cutter, splitter, slider, cutter, splitter. So if you're Pete Alonso up there, you're kind of in protect mode.
And we're told that's been the biggest change for him with 2 strikes. He fights and fights, but that time he expanded his strike zone. And Odorizzi has his 2nd strikeout. 2 up, 2 down in the New York 5th.
What a great pitch. Just climb the ladder on him.
So Alonso's had a quiet series in Atlanta. He's now 0 for 9 in the set. And Vogelbach is 0 for 7. He's walked and popped out. Popped up again. And Vogelbach is frustrated as Odorizzi. Another good inning. 1, 2, 3 and out go the Mets. Harris, Grissom and Grossman coming up. Let's see what the kids can do against Max Scherzer in a 4-1 game.
Harris leading things off, and our Texas Pete who's hot. How about Alex Anthopoulos? The Braves GM working overtime these days to lock up all of those you see on the screen. Most recently Michael Harris, but I think what this says to fans right now, you got a lot to be excited about moving forward. And gentlemen, I just liked what he had to say about the makeup of Michael Harris and the fact that this is an Atlanta kid who he watched show up to spring training in a Trey Young jersey. You know he wants to be here, and those are the kind of guys he loves to keep here, and I think he's trying to do a little more work, isn't he, behind the scenes still?
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe 1 or 2 more players hopefully at some point, but yeah, I mean he has really done a good job of locking up this core part of this team.
Michael Harris pops one up. Beatty at third will handle his second chance, and he's got that for out number 1. There's a great bit on social media. A man named Danny Vietti put something up, and he said Mike Trout's contract $426.5 million. At one point the best player in the game, Mike Trout, locked up by the Angels, right? Acuna, Albies, Riley and Harris's deal combined are $419 million. Wow. Dollars. And so, look, no offense to Mike Trout, you can give one player all the money, or you can spread it around and put together a great team.
And I think it's bringing the right people in too, the people that want to be here, that want to win.
Vaughn Grissom pops this one up shallow center, and Nimmo is under that, and quickly Scherzer has 2 outs.
I mean, there's guys that, you know, keep playing and try to get to free agency and test the market, and they earn that right.
Absolutely.
And that's part of the deal. I think plenty of people have done that and been okay with it. At the same time, I think some of these guys, they love playing here. They love the atmosphere of playing here. Love playing for Snit and this coaching staff, and so it's kind of an easy decision for them.
And I was going to say, as Grossman digs in, I think that's part of the price that isn't considered when fans might say, well, player A signed an under market deal. What price is your happiness worth?
Exactly. Look, I don't think anybody's taken $100 million under market deal. You know, that's not what they're saying. But if you can get a fair deal and you feel comfortable with it, a chance to play here. I mean, I used to say that guys would always want to come play for Bobby Cox. And that's one reason Atlanta got a lot of good free agents.
1 ball, 1 strike for Grossman, who's walked tonight. 4-1 Mets have the lead. And look, if the Braves do what Alex Anthopoulos believes they're capable of doing over the next half decade, who's to say that some of those deals couldn't be reworked and redone?
Yeah, or just even added on.
Sure.
You know, you tack on 3. That's what everybody was when they talk about Ozzy's deal and stuff. I said, keeps playing another couple years, you can tack 4 years on it and take care of him.
1-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball well hit toward right center, but Nimmo is going to have room at the edge of the track, and that will retire the side. Max Scherzer is through 5 innings. He enjoys a 4-1 lead in game 3. To help out the Braves today, that is Jose Barrero, a young infielder for Cincinnati. Bounces one up the middle, and the Reds walk off in the bottom of the 9th inning and beat the third-place Phillies by a 1-0 final score.
You know what's hard to do? A 1-0 game in Cincinnati.
And they may have a lot of those. They got some bad news today. Joey Votto, rotator cuff surgery, done for the year. In Cincinnati, so here's Jeff McNeil leading off the Mets' 6th inning. McNeil has an infield hit. That was a weird play back in the 3rd inning. He's also hit a comebacker. Also might be battling a sore thumb. Let's find out about that. Austin Riley saying that should be a strike. 1-0 to Jeff McNeil. Seems like, Jake, the second time through the order, Jeff's done a much better job of keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate.
I gotta agree with that.
It cost him 3 home runs and all 4 Mets tallies in tonight's game. And McNeil serves this one into center. Here comes Mike, but he can't make the play on this one. McNeil a soft single, but he's got a 2-for-3 night, and he's the first Mets base runner since the top of the 3rd.
That's why baseball's a crazy game. He's got 2 hits and he hadn't hit a ball over 70 miles per hour.
Nope.
Although in my scorebook I got him 1 for 3.
Yeah, you're still stuck on the error instead of infield hit.
Yeah. But again, my scorebook doesn't matter, right?
I thought you were going to go talk to the official score during the rain delay.
I should have gone seen Richard. Just picked his brain a little bit.
Mark Canha, the hitter. He's doubled, scored, and walked tonight. Bears will make some news after the game tonight. Atlanta's not yet announced its starter for Game 4 tomorrow evening. The Braves will have to find a way to tangle with and hopefully beat Jacob deGrom. Matzek up again in the Braves bullpen. He was up in the 3rd inning before the rains fell. The pitch. Braves are still in this game. They'll have the top of the order coming up in the 6th. Max Scherzer's given up, though, just 2 hits and has retired 9 straight. Canha tried to hit that to right and did, but into foul ground. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was only the 28th 1-0 game ever at Great American Ballpark.
Wow. We've got a 4-1 game in Atlanta tonight. As we approach 9:30 Eastern time, if you're just joining us, Scherzer and Odorizzi, the starters. That's hit back-to-back homers in the first, got a 2-run homer in the second. The Braves run came on a Dansby Swanson sac fly to straightaway center. He missed hitting a 3-run homer by about 5 feet. Ryan Snitker was thrown out of the game arguing balls and strikes after Riley was called out on a high pitch in the Atlanta 3rd. So Walt Weiss running the club at the moment. As that missed inside to Canha, full count with nobody out. Brett Baty, making his big league debut, waits on deck. McNeil leads, and there he goes. Pitch lined over Riley's glove and into the left field corner. That's trouble. McNeil flying around third. He's going to score. And Mark Canha with a double makes it a 5-1 game. So Canha, 2 doubles and a walk.
Yeah, just a little too much of the plate on that, just over Riley's head, and I think bench coach Walt Weiss is coming on out, and Tyler Matzek will come in the game.
So for Odorizzi, 5+ innings, 8 hits, 5 runs so far. He struck out a pair, he walked 2 and gave up 3 Mets homers. New York leads it 5-1 in game 3 of the series. Tyler Matzek coming on next. Extend their winning streak to 9 in a row during this 8-game run. Jeff, the pitching's been excellent, especially the Braves relief corps. Let's go inside the numbers. That's brought to you by Hyundai.
Yeah, they've not allowed a run in the last 17 innings pitched. They're in their nice 28 1/3 inning pitch streak, 31 Ks. Tyler Matzek coming on here, 2.81 since being reinstated from the IL. Thought we've seen a much better fastball from him, more swing and miss. And his slider's been sharper.
And he gets his first look at Mets rookie Brett Baty, who debuted with a 2-run homer in his first big league at bat and with his first big league swing. Let's see how he handles a left-handed pitcher now in his 3rd trip to the plate tonight. Line drive, Dansby, great play. You've got Canha in a rundown, and Riley will eventually chase him down. Great play by Swanson. And Baty scalded that. He's at first, but that's the first out.
Now that's baseball. McNeil lofts 2 hits tonight. He absolutely smokes this ball. Great play. See how good, smart Dansby was right there? He was getting ready to throw it to third, and he saw Canha freeze to go back. So what does he do? He chases, runs at him, gets him the run down, and keeps Baty at first base.
I used the term earlier in the series to talk about the internal clock. That's an example of it, right?
Yeah.
Didn't panic.
No, you knew, and he was getting ready to throw, and he saw Canha come back, so he went after him.
So that cuts down the lead runner for the Mets. Baty at first, and Matzek facing James McCann. Here's a strike. McCann is 0 for 2. A double play would send us to the home half of the 6th. Nice stop by Contreras to save a base. 2-1 the count. Way high, ball 3. Brandon Nimmo is lurking. Matzek needs to make a pitch here to the 9th place hitter. Make another one, Tyler. Full count.
See what they decide to do here. Only one out, but I wonder if they try to get Beatty in motion. I always wonder sometimes these situations, if he strikes him out, throws him out, at least you got the leadoff guy coming up next inning.
Just like Tyler Matzek, Buck Showalter trying to get some intel on Beatty too. Started the year in Double-A. He has a good lead. Matzek ready, not going, and the pitch is swung on and missed.
And see that early on before Matzek went on the IL chip, he could not make that pitch. Here's a 3-2. You got a guy, and McCann's thinking, here comes the fastball, and you throw him a good slider like that with depth, and you get the strikeout.
So Brandon Nimmo hits with a man aboard, 2 outs. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Another good stop. Boy, has Contreras gotten good behind the play. It truly is a drastic change in Williams' work behind the dish. Much more confident, much more consistent, blocking balls, framing pitches. And Travis d'Arnaud worked very well together, and look, credit to William. Got a chance to play when Manny Pena got hurt and had to undergo season-ending wrist surgery. Sometimes that's been a strike, sometimes it's not. Luckily for Matzek, it was there. Even count. So Nimmo facing a 1-2 pitch now. Two and two. On the ground, Grissom to his left. Long throw and a strike. Shortstop's arm at second base. Nice play with the wet outfield grass beneath. Mets get a run in the 6th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Braves. Acuna, Swanson, and Riley against Max Scherzer, who has retired the last 9 Braves in order. Let's change that. Ronald has grounded out twice.
Well, you got the right part of the lineup up here. 3rd time.
Scherzer has faced just a couple more than the minimum as this one skied a mile high into center field, and Nimmo will handle that. 10 up, 10 down for Scherzer. 1 away in the 6th.
Well, and that's the hard thing. You think about a guy like Scherzer, Chip. You want to try to work his pitch count a little bit to get him out of there. At the same time, you can't fall behind in the count too much, and that's why these guys go so deep in the game. You know, you see 5 1/3, only 69 pitches for Scherzer. That's kind of, as a hitter, what you battle with.
Dansby has the Braves RBI, and that one's off McCann behind the plate. He says he's okay. No balls and a strike. Truly is a game of inches. Dansby's at bat in the third inning. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the night for Atlanta. Chase Nimmo all the way back to the 400 mark in center. He made the catch to bring home Vaughn Grissom, who scores another run, by the way, for the Braves. We have a run on 2 hits so far tonight. Kirby Yates is getting ready. He could use some work. That ball backed up on Scherzer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And over the outside corner, a slider, and quickly 2 are out.
So let's go back and look at Austin Riley, that third inning here. The ball in. Swings at that heater up, gets to a 1-1 count. Gets that slider, and here you go. Same spot, takes that one. Same spot again, and gets the strike 3 call. As you look at our StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. And I think that's the thing. It's just the inconsistency of knowing the zone. As a hitter, like I said, you get the one before you not called a strike, so you just assume same spot, shut down again, and with the catcher standing up.
Who knows how big a play that could have been had Riley reached, and he didn't. Obviously, Matt Olson would have come up. As this one hits on the ground to Beatty at third. But baseball, no trouble, and the Braves are done in inning number 6. Best coverage in the game. Let's check out our T-Mobile coverage cam. These are the faces and names for the top 2 teams in the National League East. Had some raindrops to dodge. Questionable calls affected that man. Brian Snitker was thrown out for the first time this season, arguing balls and strikes. He was right. And now the Braves have a 4-run deficit entering the last third of this game with Kirby Yates on to pitch. Jeff, he's still making his way back from Tommy John. See what he does against the 2, 3, 4 hitters on the Met lineup card.
You know, each time he's come in, it's been in that situation where he's tried to close out a game or hold down an 8th or 9th inning. And, you know, and Florida just wasn't able to have time to do it. They had to go to the pen. Again, his velocity is up, or at least back to what we're used to seeing. I think now what you want to see is that sink start to come on that ball. When that does that, then that is a good sign.
Starling Marte greets him first. He's 2 out of 3 with a home run tonight. Mets have 8 hits. And this one cracked to center field on the first pitch. And Marte hits another one into Chattahoochee Falls. Two-homer game for Starling Marte. Not a cheapie, 431 feet.
That's 2 times same spot. Odorizzi earlier in the game ran back over the middle of the plate, and Marte stayed through that. Second one in Chattahoochee Falls. 5th multi-homer game for Starling in his career.
So the Mets have hit 4 homers tonight. Francisco Lindor hit 1 in the first inning. He and Marte went back-to-back for the Mets. Lindor takes downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. There's a good pitch. It's 2-1. We talk all the time, Jeff, about coming back from Tommy John surgery from the pitcher's perspective, how difficult it is, how pitchers will tell you the ball feels like it comes out of their hand perfectly, but it just doesn't have that little bit of movement that makes all the difference. My question to you is this: after the 2-1 pitch for Lindor, which is squibbed down the line, and Yates will wisely let that go foul.
Smart. He was about to pick it up and realized where Lindor was. Good move.
What is a man stuff like that you face coming off Tommy John surgery from a batter's perspective? Do you notice that?
I would make it the equivalent of what Ronald's gone through in right field with his ACL. You wake up days, you feel good, you go out and you play well. I'm sure for him, the workload sometimes, you wake up and some days I'm sure your arm feels sharp, feels ready to go, and then other days probably doesn't, and it takes time to get in that routine of having good stuff. As a hitter, you kind of, I mean, look, hitters know who's come back from what. So, you know, you saw Marte get ready, jump on a first pitch right there, knowing he's probably trying to get ahead, and he got the pitch he wanted.
So obviously you scout these guys. Can you sense a difference in stuff?
I'm sure for these guys right now, yes, where he's at now. And I think the thing we're trying to remember is this is not where he's going to be. And that's why, you know, he's in this game to try to keep it close. Snit's going to try to get him into these perfect situations where you can let him work through some of this.
Yeah, the term that's used all the time is low leverage.
Yeah.
I don't really like that term,
no,
especially for a guy like Yates, because every pitch he throws is high leverage because he's trying to get back to what he was, which is an all-star.
And any, quite frankly, any pitch you throw in a big league game, it's kind of high leverage because it's the big leagues. But these are situations you want to see him kind of start to climb back into it.
Well hit toward left. Grossman retreats. And in front of the 385 mark, he'll make that play. There's the first out in the New York 7th inning. 6-1. Mets have the lead. Lindor is now 1 for 4. Here's Pete Alonso. Alonso 0 for 9 in the series. And has struck out 5 times. And after Yates gets the next 2 hitters, we will send you to the stretch. That's presented by Synovus. Trevor, Nick, and BJ are standing by to talk about the big extension for Michael Harris. It was announced late last night. Alex and Michael had a great press conference before the game today. Life-changing moment, and perhaps a franchise-changing one too.
See, that was one of his better splits. That's, as a right-handed hitter, what makes it so difficult to face Yates is he's got 93, 94 with that big sink, and then that split coming off it.
Freddie Tarnok, one of the young Braves who was just called up, getting ready to make his debut. 1 ball, 1 strike. And popped up right side. Matt Olson, and Contreras will be the Braves catcher with a 2-handed grab. 2 outs. Vogelbach the hitter, but first a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
There you go, right there. That was the sequence that you see that the stuff's there. It's being able to consistently do it.
And that's got to be the most frustrating part of it, right? Yates knows what he was, where he wants to be. He's just not there yet, and having the patience to keep working through innings or outings like this. I imagine Jeff is as big a challenge as the comeback.
And this is the first time you're really seeing him, to me, since we've seen him have good control of that splitter.
See his nod of the head there, like, hey, that's more like it.
Exactly.
Well, Kirby's a great dude. His brother Tyler played for the Braves. If you missed us talking about it on the road trip, Tyler's a police officer in Kauai, Hawaii. Probably watching his brother work tonight. And he'd be impressed with that sequence. That's Kirby Yates. As we send you to the stretch, it's 6-1 New York. Trevor, take it away.
The Stretch is brought to you by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Welcome into the Stretch, presented by Synovus. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, Brian Jordan outside kicking it on the battery with you. Fellas, Money Bag Mike is living up to the nickname to the fullest extent. An 8-year, $72 million deal, Nick, that locks him into an already real solid core for this Braves franchise.
Alex Anthopoulos is getting the job done. And when you look at this Braves club, yeah, they won the World Series last year, and you want to win every single year. Well, when you lock all these guys up to long-term extensions, plus the fact you have other guys that are under control for a while, BJ, they're going to win for a long time. I love the moves that he's made this season, locking up Riley, locking up Harris. Acuna already been locked up. This is going to be a good team for a long time.
Hey, Alex is surprising, man. I really didn't expect this sign this early, but, man, well-deserved. Can't complain. Michael Harris came up, did the job, and we needed a center fielder. We needed defense, and to lock all 5 of these guys up for a long term. If I was a free agent, I would definitely want to come here. There's no doubt about it, and I think that's the long-term plan of thinking of Alex Anthopoulos. You make it appealing to be a part of what we have going here in Atlanta. We got some more Braves baseball on the other side of a word from our friends at Synovus.
Opportunity won't always come to you, but with Synovus as your bank, you can always go towards it. Synovus, get there.
Great job at the stretch, guys. Here we go, bottom 7. It is 6-1. New York has the lead. Mets have hit 4 homers tonight. Max Scherzer's been stingy. He's trying to win his 9th game and trying to become the 3rd active pitcher to get to 200 wins. It won't happen tonight, but Max could get number 199 if the Braves don't complete a 5-run comeback here in Game 3 of the series. Matt Olson, Eddie Rosario, and William Contreras are coming up. Scherzer's been very stingy with this trio. They are 1 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. One ball, no strikes. Matt tried to extend his hitting streak to 9 games. And we say it all the time, Jeffrey, nothing for the Braves hitters to eliminate.
No, not tonight.
Out of play, it's 1-2.
You can see the hitter's face sometimes. That's all you need to know. You get a pitch that you think you can drive, and you foul it off, and you think, man.
Max Scherzer continuing to climb the ranks of the all-time strikeout greats in Major League Baseball. Over 3,000 in his career. And that one ties him with Pedro Martinez for 13th all time, as Matt Olson's retired to start the Braves' 7th, 1 away. Rosario looks for his first hit. As the late great Hall of Famer Yogi Berra would have said, it's gotten late early tonight in Atlanta. We're in the 7th.
The Braves have 8 outs left.
Think back to that one inning. I feel like that was the chance with second and third, and Dansby smoked that one to dead center. Right, got caught right at the wall. That ball goes over. It's 4-3. You're thinking it's a different ball game.
Well, the Braves haven't had a base runner since that third against Max Scherzer, who hasn't been bothered by the 34-minute rain delay tonight. And that's the second walk issued by Scherzer, who came into this game with no walks in his prior 4 starts against the Braves with 3 different teams, Washington, LA, and now the New York Mets. So here's Contreras. He's got one of the 2 Braves hits. Little tapper. Scherzer can't handle it. Throw to first. Alonso can't handle it. All help's appreciated. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, maybe that's a small break you needed right there, Max. Got it, had to throw it quick, and with the rush throw, made it low on Alonso. And you can tell, too, you see the mud on that ball coming off the ground?
So Contreras credited with an infield hit, his second knock of the night. And here's Michael Harris. Michael looking for his first base hit. Yeah, and that's what's so fun about this Braves offense. A base runner is a rally, and a base runner could mean a 2-run homer in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
Long ball here, you've got a 2-run game, and then it would be the Mets' turn to do a little sweating again in this series. And as we've said so often, when the game gets late, Michael's at bats get better. That's what we're talking about. 6 homers in the 7th inning or later.
And one of the reasons they love his makeup and why he just got paid.
Adam Ottavino has gotten up in the Mets bullpen. Well, get another base runner and have Grissom pop one.
Yeah.
Bases loaded. So after the strikeout of Matt Olson, Scherzer walked Rosario. Couldn't handle the little slow tapper to the mound, and then walks Harris. And the Braves have turned the lights out on the Mets right-hander. Bases loaded, 5-run game.
Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by the All-South Highway Safety Team. Always wear your seatbelt.
Well, as we told you, the Braves have 8 outs left. They have chased Max Scherzer, who tired here in the 7th inning. Good at-bats by Rosario and Harris to help Atlanta load the bases. And now, Jeff, we get into the teeth of this Mets bullpen with right-hander Adam Ottavino out to first.
Yeah, one of the better relievers in all of baseball. But in New York last week, he faced the Braves for 2 1/3 total. Braves got 5 hits off and scored a run. He's that guy, really two-pitch pitcher. He's going to come with that fastball and then that frisbee slider from the side.
Well, we've been impressed by the at-bats of Vaughn Grissom in his first week plus as a major leaguer. No bigger spot than this. Keep the line moving, kid. Braves trying to get back in this game. 6-1. And he tried to hit a grand slam. Didn't get it. Strike one. We've talked about it all the time, Jeff. When the relief pitchers have been at their best, so has this Braves offense.
Yeah, 7th inning on, they're second in the NL with 170 RBIs.
A Brave at every base. Good take.
That's the pitch as a righty you got to lay off. That pitch you almost have to tell yourself, Chip, it's got to start at me.
To be a strike.
Remember Sergio Romo?
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit like him. Ottavino throws a little bit harder, but still the bite on that off-speed pitch.
Swing and a shot down the line. Just out in front.
That's the one you want.
Grissom learning on the job. First look at Ottavino. The base is loaded. And one out. Wow, what a take.
I don't know if that was a take or that just froze him a little bit, but either way, still alive in the count. 2-2.
And we've seen Grissom battle back from 2 strikes to take ball 4. Now it's 2-2. Runners lead. Here it is. On the ground toward Beatty. Second base one. On to first. And they got it. Double play. Braves going to check this one out. Grissom thought he beat the rap at first. If he did, the Braves will get a run. And it looks like Atlanta's going to challenge.
Even if it's close enough, it's the 7th inning. Oh, I think he beat it. Huh?
Atlanta's challenging the out call at first base.
I think that puck got to the base before that ball got in the glove. It's a big call because even just this gives Grossman a chance to put some pressure on him.
Grossman a switch hitter. The fans think that Grissom beat the rap. So does he. Here's another look. Again, the call was out. Is that clear and convincing?
I don't know, but Pete Alonso looked at it and he's walking back on the field.
I mean, it's within the boundary of the leather, but it never hit the pocket. So the call's overturned. So the Mets get the force of Harris at second. Grissom reaches on a force play, give him an RBI. And now Robbie Grossman is coming up in what's now a 6-2 game, Jeff, and the number 9 spot has been golden all year.
I was going to say, you want some good news, this is it. Braves 9-hole hitters lead all MLB in average home runs, RBIs, and OPS. And during this 8-game win streak, Chip, Braves have 4 home runs from the 9-hole.
Grossman hit a home run hitting 9th last night. If he hits one here, we'd have a 1-run game. If he can reach, you bring Acuna up. And Ronald has been sizzling. So a little more pressure on Ottavino, who missed outside. Ball 1. Grossman has seen Ottavino before. He's 1 for 6 in his career. But a left-hand hitter Figure he'll get a good look at that long delivery from the Mets right-hander. Max Scherzer's allowed 2 runs. The man at third, his responsibility as well in a 6-2 game. Grissom takes off. No throw. He got a good jump. Now a hit gets 2.
Yeah, you get a hit here and get within 2 runs. It's a whole different ball game.
Two balls, 1 strike. Swing, high fly ball right. Marte back. He's going to turn. It's gone.
Well, that was a perfect time to talk about the 9-hole Atlanta Braves. Now, a 3-run homer gets you within 1. I told you, you go look at Ottavino all year. Dominates the other teams. These Braves hitters have worked him time and time again. He gets a 2-1 count and tries to pound that fastball in. Grossman was ready.
So the trade deadline magic for Alex Anthopoulos has continued in 2022. The Braves are back from the brink with a 4-run 7th. It's 6-5. And Acuna the hitter.
Boy, imagine if Ronald can go deep here. They'd blow the roof off this place.
Buck Showalter said coming to Atlanta was going to be a challenge. The Braves are showing you why in the 7th inning tonight. This team is never out.
And look, it's not like the Braves hit Max tonight. The walks hurt. And here you go. He tries to come with that fastball in. Crept back just over the plate, but Robbie was ready for that pitch. You want to endear yourself to these fans. Come in and do that a couple times as he's done the last 2 nights.
So Walt Weiss has the lineup card for Snit after he was ejected. Braves are down a run. Oh, what a cut by Ronald, fouled back. So close the book on Scherzer. 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks.
And that's
exactly
what
right.
you said. Last 4 starts, 0 walks tonight. That was kind of his undoing. Not so much contact, but the walks.
Ronald looking for his first hit tonight. The 2-2 pitch. You put him on. Well, you might try to steal a run with him. It's Ottavino's inning. Nobody up for the Mets. Ball 4. Tying run aboard. Another walk in the inning. Robbie Grossman with a 3-run homer. Ronald Acuna Jr. with his 5th walk in his last 8 trips to the plate. And the Chop House is roaring, Kelly, as Robbie Grossman has made himself very popular here in Atlanta.
Certainly, and he's been working really hard. I know, Jeff, you and I were talking about this, and in just speaking to him this afternoon about some of the adjustments he's been making, he said like he found something mechanically a few weeks before he was traded. And in going more in depth on that, he mentioned the path at contact and after contact. That's what he's really been working with Kevin Seitzer. Certainly paid off right there, but I figure you can expand on that a little bit more, having seen what he just did.
Well, and Kelly, I love talking to him because he loves playing baseball, loves hitting, and he was brought over to hit left-handed pitching. And as he told me, he said, look, I can hit righties too. It just has not worked this year. Sometimes you get in a new place, you get in a new uniform, you talk to some of these veteran hitters, guys that have done it, and you learn a couple things. We saw it with Rosario last year when he came. Soler, Jock Peterson had a great little last 2 months. So kudos to him for continuing to work, and what a big hit tonight.
So now Dansby Swanson is up. You might recall in the 3rd inning, Swanson almost hit a 3-run homer. Dansby Swanson has been so big with 2 outs for the Braves and in the late innings too. And he's enjoyed hitting against Ottavino. He's 3 for 9 with a double and a triple. And they're paying very close attention to Ronald, as you'd expect.
I don't know, but Ottavino's throwing the ball about 100 miles per hour 3 straight times to Alonso at first.
It takes Adam a while to release the baseball. Ronald might get a good jump. Action has begun. There he goes. Pitch is low. McCann's throw is on the money. What a catch and throw by McCann. And Acuna is thrown out trying to steal. Let's see if the Braves challenge this. Acuna's walking off. And Walt Weiss says no challenge. Tough pitch to handle, and McCann with a laser beam ends the Atlanta 7. But still, what a great inning it was for the Braves, who score 4. Grossman's 3-run homer makes it a 1-run game. Electrified this crowd at Truist Park. A 3-run homer into the Chop House seats. And that's where we stand after 7. Now it's a 6-5 New York lead. Grossman with homers in back-to-back games. There's your line score. The Braves 5 runs on 4 hits. Now Dylan Lee pitching the 8th inning. Jeff McNeil faces him first. Dylan misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Boy, Shane Ronald was thrown out trying to steal. If he makes it, you've got Dansby hitting with a runner in scoring position. But now Edwin Diaz is warming up, and the Mets might be thinking about bringing him to get the final 6 outs.
That was the thing. Look, I know Ronald has got all the athleticism in the world. We see him steal bases. You just want to pick the right time, and right there, you had Ottavino on the ropes a little bit, and now you got Diaz warming up down in the pen. And we saw last weekend in Flushing, Buck will bring him in for 6 innings or for 6 outs if that's what it takes. So not that you can't score any, but boy, you really felt like you had him on the ropes. Credit McCann, he had a good throw with the ball out of kind of low.
The only positive out of that disappointing outcome is that Dansby will get a new set of strikes, but it is going to be apparently against Diaz, as the Mets have a 1-run lead. That one is over the glove of Olsen with a 2-strike count. Jeff McNeil is going to have an extra base hit. He is tough to strike out, even with a 3-punch-out game last night. He was 4 for 4 in game 1. He's 3 for 4 tonight.
Well, last night Dylan Lee got him with that fastball 3-2 in and up in the zone. This time he tried to throw that curveball at him. This one hung a little bit on him.
Well, we mentioned as well the Mets play old-fashioned baseball, if you will. Buck Showalter is not afraid to sacrifice. The Mets have 16 sack bunts this year. I'm doubting Canha would do it here with a lefty on deck.
And a rookie lefty who it's his first start.
So he'll trust Canha to try to get McNeil to third here with nobody out. Canha's had a productive night. Seven hard-fought innings in Atlanta tonight. The Mets jumped out to a 6-1 lead. The Braves with a 4-run seventh have made it a 1-run game. Gotta cut down McNeil here, because a 2-run lead against Diaz, that's a tough order. And Dillon is now ahead 1-2. Fun to watch young players get to the big leagues and see their roles change. As he's pitched better, the leverage he works in has gotten higher and hotter. And more often than not, Dillon has done the job, the pitch.
Like to say, you come in and you throw well, you make your manager look good, you're going to get more opportunities. That's what Dillon's done for himself.
Matzik, Yates, and Lee follow Jake Odorizzi, who went 5 innings tonight. We'd love a strikeout here. Or a ground ball right at Dansby or Austin Riley, and try to hold McNeil. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That'll leak into the seats. 2-2. If the Braves come back and win this game, they will win the series outright.
Boy, they can do that. Somehow pull this one, grab a couple more runs. You put a lot of pressure on Jacob deGrom tomorrow.
Against a Braves starter that will be named on Braves Live, we presume, after Game 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Canha fighting tough. He will see a 7th pitch.
You can, excuse me, Chip, you can see him trying to shoot that ball the other way to try to get him over. Dillon doing a good job of pounding him in.
Full count. If you lose him, you at least set up a double play. That's the making lemonades out of lemon scenario. Lee would prefer not to have an extra base runner with Beatty on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes. He's hanging tough. And this encapsulates the way the Mets have played all year long.
Yeah.
They are tough to strike out. They force mistakes. They frustrate you.
I'd love to see a good fastball up in the zone from Dylan right here. I think that would get him. If anything, too, you might get a weak pop up in the infield or short right field. McNeil's not going to be able to get to third.
Check of the runner. Here it is. He got him. Good call, Jeff.
After that strikeout, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Take me out to the Giants. Take me out for a car. The Giants selection is something to see.
So lefty for Brett Beatty. Against Tyler Matzek, he scorched a ball to Dansby Swanson in the 6th inning, you might recall. Dansby then made that super play to get Canha in a rundown. He swings early in the count, but not that time. Strike one.
You gotta remember, this is a tall order for him coming in to face a lefty like Lee.
And we're told, for a young player, has a very good idea of the strike zone. That'll be tested here, lefty versus lefty. The catcher, James McCann, waits on deck. No pitch. Time was called. Good thing that ball was in the dirt.
Yeah, unless he swung at it.
And didn't look like he had any intention of doing that. On the ground, Grissom's got it, and the runner to third, 2 outs. That's why the strikeout was so important. And now Dylan Lee, an out away from sending us to the home 8th inning.
And like you said, Chip, with Diaz coming in the game, this is a big out right here. You want to keep it to that one swing. Can tie the ball game up for you.
McCann is 0 for 3. Anything in the dirt, Contreras has to block that. He's on a knee as Lee turns it loose, and it's high, ball 1. Fly ball left center. Harris on the run to the warning track. He's got it. And Lee works around a leadoff double. Good job, Dylan Lee. Swanson, Riley Olson, 2, 3, and 4 for the Braves. Down a run in game 3. In 6-5 New York the lead before the Braves continue their comeback. Here's a quick message from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
Edwin Diaz is the Mets closer. He's trying for his second 6-out save of the year.
Yeah, you don't think this game's important to Buck Showalter? Edwin Diaz has only had 3 of the saves, been 4 outs or more, and only 1 has been 6 outs. And you guessed right, August 4th against the Braves up at Citi Field.
Remarkably, this man has struck out more than half of the batters he's faced this year. 94 of 180. So put some pressure on him. Make him feel uncomfortable. And he starts with a slider strike. At some point, this man's magical run will end. He has a 20-inning scoreless streak.
So tough because that fastball and slider come out of that same spot. One's 98 to 100. The other one's 92, 93. See here, though, 3 straight sliders to Dansby.
I think you hit it on the head. Huge game for the Mets. They had a big lead. The Braves are one swing of the bat away from tying it. Another slider. 2-2. Swanson's been so good getting back into counts, getting ahead in counts. He's leading off the Atlanta 8th. And a swing and a miss. All sliders, and there's out number 1. But it gets no easier for Diaz, for Austin Riley as your hitter.
Now, we just said Scherzer, the only home run he gave up to a right-hander this year was Austin Riley. Diaz so far no home runs yet. Maybe Austin can change that too and tie the ball game up.
Riley hit by a pitch in the first, is 0 for 2 otherwise. The pitch.
Well, he's slider happy now. 6 in a row to start this inning.
Off the end of the bat, Nimmo got a late break. He's still coming. He's still coming. He's going to get there. And there's the second out. Another slider. But now a left-hand hitter, Matt Olson. Matt has a 0 for tonight. Now let's see how effective that slider is coming into the wheelhouse of the Braves' powerful first baseman. And there's his first fastball at 101 miles an hour. Another lefty follows Matt. Eddie Rosario would be the next hitter. And very quickly it's 0-2. The top of the order is coming up for the Mets in the 9th. Braves have 4 outs left. And strike 3 ends the inning. We are through 8 at Truist Park. 6-5 New York.
Braves Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Robbie Grossman's 3-run homers made it a 1-run game, and we are off to the 9th. Jackson Stevens will be the 5th Braves pitcher, and he'll face the top of the New York order, Nimmo, Marte, and Francisco Lindor. Nimmo has had a quiet night. Let's keep it that way, shall we? Not going to happen. First pitch swing, and Nimmo leads off with a single. Ordinarily, you'd think that's big trouble. What's weird about Nimmo is, as good a player as he is, he almost never tries to steal a base.
No, and even for Marte having 2 home runs tonight, I like this matchup for Stevens here. He's a double play candidate. You can get him to roll over.
Wonder if Marte would try to bunt.
It's a tough guy to bunt off here. And you got 2 home runs. I'm going to say no.
Well, he doesn't have a sacrifice bunt this year. And Jackson missed low. 1 ball, no strikes. Marte, Lindor, Alonso coming up in the New York 9th with Nimmo at first as he reached base in his 25th straight road game. He needed that hit to extend that impressive streak. You can see the reaction of Contreras. Will Little's a good umpire. I think he's had a very inconsistent night.
Yeah.
$34,000+ in Atlanta. The Braves have 3 outs left. We're down a run, 6-5. That time it's a strike.
Yeah, that's why. As you said, just a little bit. I mean, I understand why Marte wants that pitch. Same reason Riley did. I think he would have been much more if that 1-0 was called a strike compared to that one.
2-2. And now a full count. If Marte makes contact, look where the second base umpire is playing. I don't think I've ever seen one set up right between the second baseman and the shortstop.
Yeah.
So he's really going to have to hustle to get out of the way if the Braves try to start a 6-4-3 here. And I would think that would be distracting as a right-hand hitter. He's almost in your line of sight.
Yeah.
But Marte's not asked him to move. Runner goes, and it's fouled away. That's a rarity. And Nimmo back to first. It's still 3-2, and this is what we've seen Marte do against the Braves. 8, 9, 10, 11 pitch at bats.
Well, and that's why I think they know they trust him to put the ball in play. Possibly a ground ball with Stevens being a sinker baller, so I think that's why you're seeing Nimmo try to get the head start and stay out of that double play.
Runner goes again. It's driven toward right center field. Ronald on the run, still going back, still going back. He's got it on the warning track. He's going to heave the ball back toward first, and Nimmo hustles back safely. So Marte put it in play, but in the air for the first out.
Yeah, and that's why you're happy, Chip, because that ball was put in the air, so Nimmo had to go back. Now you still got him at first.
And Francisco Lindor, the batter, a first inning home run highlights his night, his 21st home run of the year. So here in the ninth, Lindor at .269 average. Let's get him to double up. Lindor has hit into 5 double plays this year. 4 of them left-handed. Jackson has a good fastball tonight. That one at 94. And an even count. Changeup.
Yeah,
like that. It was up in the zone, but it fooled Francisco. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another foul ball left side. Stevens, the 4th Braves reliever to work after Jake Odorizzi started. The Mets have gone too deep in their bullpen after pitching a lot of innings in the first 2 games of this series. Nimmo runs, and it's fouled away again. Pitch number 7 for the Mets shortstop.
Good try.
Let's see what Jackson cooks up now with an even count. Base hit the other way. So Lindor did that last night, and the ball gets by Grossman. He falls to the seat of his pants, and the Mets have him at the corners with 1 out. That hurts because now a fly ball could bring in a run.
Yeah, it's a slippery turf out there, Chip. And sometimes you get to it like that, and it looks like it's just didn't get his glove on it. Nice piece of hit, and we've seen Lindor do that quite a few times. And just got stuck on it under his glove, and then he slipped going back to get it.
So a single and an E7. And now you really need an atom ball or a strikeout from Pete Alonso. Alonso is 0 for the series. That was fouled away, and it got a piece of Contreras.
Catchers take a beating, don't they? Right off the knob.
Two flyouts, a pop out, and a strikeout for Alonso. Need a double play ball. Alonso has struck out 11 times in his last 9 games. Can he make it an even dozen here? Lindor's running, and the pitch is outside. Ball 2.
I'm going to see the infield come in now.
Give Lindor a stolen base, his 12th. And now it's Nimmo and Lindor in scoring position. Alonso ahead in the count. The Braves are down a run. Yanked foul, 2-2.
Well, we've seen Alonso expand a little bit on that slider tonight.
They've made Jackson work. He's about to make his 21st pitch. Can't be fun, as big as and strong as Alonso is, to be creeping in at the edge of the grass. The 2-2 pitch. Didn't have the plate. Full count.
Good try.
Look, if you lose him, you still have a 1-run deficit, and you've got Vogelbach waiting on deck. He is, though, a left-hand hitter. So what will Jackson Stephens do here? Braves are using PitchCom with Lindor at second base. Stephens shook off Contreras and then stepped off. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Line drive into center, a base hit. One will score. Here comes Lindor. Harris's throw is going to be cut off. Pete Alonso scores 2 more for the Mets.
Ball up, and he just pulled his hands in. Lindor with good speed. Harris, with his footing out in center field, was never really able to get a hold of that ball.
So 99 RBIs for Pete Alonso. Disappointing outing for Jackson Stephens. 2 runs on 3 hits. Walt Weiss will go get him after 22 pitches. And Freddie Tarnok will make his major league debut in the 9th inning against the New York Mets when we come back.
Tarnok taking over, making his major league debut here tonight. He told me on Monday in the clubhouse he got the call around midnight and was absolutely speechless. But once he did finally find the right words, his first call was to Dad, and actually pretty great timing because Mom and Dad had come up from Tampa, where their home is, to watch him pitch in Gwinnett. And of course now just the 45 minutes over here to this ballpark, getting to watch him pitch here tonight. But the interesting hook, guys, to his journey, he didn't even start pitching until his junior year of high school, which was actually just 7 years ago. Keep that in mind. A position player up to that point, and stressed how pivotal. Sorry, I want to make sure what happened there, but stress how pivotal that COVID year was for him. This is a guy that got to take that entire year, right, and work on every single pitch, work on the sequencing, all of these things, and now tonight gets to put it in order out there on the mound. And, you know, no big deal. Just a 3-run ball game against the Mets.
Yeah, first place Mets in your big league debut.
Right.
Why not?
And Pete Alonso, smart play. Kid probably thinking about throwing a strike on his first pitch, took second base. And Daniel Vogelbach, the hitter, he's 0 for 3 in the game. And this ball is hammered into right field. That's down for a hit. Alonso will come around and score. Vogelbach chugging towards second, and he's in ahead of the throw. So close the book on Jackson Stephens. A third of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs. And Vogelbach has his first hit of the night, and the Mets are pulling away.
See how that ball cut back over the plate to Vogelbach. Hey, that's some speed right there.
So it's 9-5 New York, a 3-run 9th inning. And Jeff McNeil, the batter, he's 3 for 4. So with the Mets pulling away now, Buck Showalter, Jeff, has a bit of a luxury with his bullpen. He brought in Diaz to preserve a 1-run lead in the 8th with the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Now that it's a 4-run lead, he can go to somebody else and preserve Diaz for tomorrow if need be.
I have a feeling they're going to need one more run for him to feel comfortable going down there. But that's me. I come from the old school mentality. You can't worry about tomorrow until tomorrow. You pull Diaz in a 4-run game, and all of a sudden the Braves get 2 guys on to start the inning.
And then all the New York writers.
I was going to say that.
What were you thinking? 1 ball, 1 strike. From Tarnock, Freddie, the 5th highest rated prospect in the Braves system. Last 10 innings at AAA, 9 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts for Freddie. And a 2-2 count.
Good arm. You see that? 96, painted down and away. That's a tough situation for a kid to come into his debut.
So he's got 2 strikes on Jeff McNeil, who we hope will be Freddie's first big league out. It's on the ground. Grissom to his left, and Tarnock is a big league pitcher now. He gets McNeil to roll out. Vogelbach is at third base, 2 away. You know what the Braves are doing with Freddie here is kind of the way things used to happen in Major League Baseball. Kids would come up, serve an apprenticeship in the bullpen, pitch in games like this, learn what big league lifestyle was like, what big league hitters would swing at and not. And as their stuff and confidence grew, then they'd get a chance to start. We'll see if that's the fate for Freddie Tarnock in the days ahead, as Tyler Naquin will be the New York hitter.
We've seen Buck Showalter do that a lot now with that bottom part of the lineup. Left field, DH, kind of become a platoon for the Mets.
The Braves have not announced their starter for tomorrow. If it's a right-handed pitcher, well, you get Naquin a chance to get acclimated in the late innings tonight. If Max Fried gets the ball, and we don't know if Max is going to pitch tomorrow night or not, well, you've got Canha ready to go after his 2 hits. One thing we know about Naquin, this guy is trying to launch everything.
2 good fastballs too to start off, right by him.
First major league strikeout.
Well, good changeup too.
And the Tarnock family here in Atlanta watching Freddie become a big league Brave. Welcome to the show, Freddie Tarnock. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Mets have extended their lead. Quinn takes over in left field. And Diaz is out of the game, Jeff. Buck Showalter feels confident with a man with a near 7 ERA to preserve a 4-run lead as he takes Edwin Diaz out of the game after his 1-2-3-8.
Yeah, he likes the way May's been throwing the balls, though, since he's come back from the IL. And like you said, I think he's thinking, you know what, we got a 4-run lead. If we can't get that, then
you don't deserve to win the game.
Exactly. But for the Braves, you got some life now. You got one of the best closers out of the game. You get a couple people on, you can at least make them nervous.
And that's why those runs the Mets scored in the top of the inning were so important. You keep Diaz in the game, maybe if it's 1 or even 2 runs. Maybe he's not available tomorrow after he pitched 1 inning tonight. I figure he'll be good to go behind Jacob deGrom if needed. But we'll worry about that tomorrow. Let's see what Eddie can do to start a rally. He walked and scored last time up. Trevor May is 3-0 in his career against the Braves. Time to change that tonight. May missed a lot of time, nearly 3 months with injury this year for the Mets. So this is kind of like spring training part 2 for him. And it shows. He's a little rusty. Two balls and a strike. Slider, fastball, changeup featured by May in this sequence. Hope you stick around for Braves Live after our game coverage tonight. We'll have game 4 of the series here tomorrow night. The pitch. 1 man down. Rosario is down on strikes for the 3rd time. Here's William Contreras. He's got a 2-hit game. He's scored a run. And he's got some history with Mr. May. Let's go back to August 6th.
Yeah, shot him right down that right field line. But that's what's been impressive to me about William this year is the opposite field power he's starting to display, hitting to all parts of the field.
He's got a 9-game hit streak that he'll take into play tomorrow. That knocked the PitchCom device out of the mask of McCann. Or is that the padding on the helmet? Not sure which. Maybe it's the padding. Something went flying. See?
Yeah, I don't know. Looks like a pitch. It'd be weird for a padding to just fly out.
Tell you what, the Mets catchers the last 2 games have taken some forehead shots, haven't they? Man, oh man. Perez took one right to the noggin last night. He was dazed. That one had to hurt McCann too. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies lost, Nationals lost, Marlins lost. Smoked into left field. A 3-hit game for Contreras. And if you're hot, you're going to play.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would imagine we'll see d'Arnaud behind the plate. Contreras might get the DH job tomorrow night. So 3 singles for William Contreras tonight.
And gets a fastball. Now you get that. You get that 2-1 count. And he didn't miss it.
That's the 5th Braves hit. William has 3 of them. Here's Michael Harris. He walked his last time up. Get a couple more guys on, you might flip the lineup card over. They have already removed Diaz from the game. The Braves need 4 runs. They have 2 outs left. Crazier things have happened.
If you're Michael right now, force him. He's missing up. Make sure that ball's down in the zone.
We need base runners any way we can get them. Michael's ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. That was a good pitch. 2-2. Vaughn Grissom's next. He's scored 2 more runs tonight. All the run scoring from the bottom half of the Braves lineup card. The pitch. It's high. Full count. Grissom's next. Swing, fly ball, well hit toward right center. That's headed for the Braves bullpen. That ball is off the wall. And Atlanta's got runners at 1st and 3rd. Not sure if Michael thought he hit it out. He didn't make it to 2nd on that ball that hit off the fence, and that keeps the double play in order for New York. But Atlanta does have another base runner.
Yeah, I think Michael got caught looking at that one. That'll be one of those things you have a talk with, and you know he's a rookie, Chip. Those things happen. He knows he's got to be at 2nd.
I was going to say, you probably don't have to say a word.
No, that's what I was going to say.
So here's Grissom. There are 2 of the base runners the Braves need. The tying run is in the on-deck circle. What is it about Vaughn Grissom, Jeff? He is a run-scoring machine for the Braves. 2 more tonight.
I know.
Which means he scored 10 runs in 8 games. Well, let's make it 11.
Yeah, why not? At least get 1 more on and give yourself a chance.
Which is what the Braves always seem to find a way to do. No balls and a strike. Michael takes off and no throw. And Harris is in safely with his 14th consecutive stolen base. That makes up for not getting to second base. That takes away the double play chance. But Grissom is down to his last strike. Can he work himself back into the count?
I guarantee you they're putting a little scare into Buck Showalter over there, thinking, there's nobody warming up. This is May's game.
One ball, two strikes. A hit gets you 2 runs and brings the tying run to the plate. There's the line drive. There's the hit. 2 more going to score. 9-7. The Braves are still alive. Grissom with a 2-strike knock.
Man. It's behind 0-2. It just keeps continuing to deliver. It's a changeup. Stays through it beautifully.
Well, now Buck Showalter will have to get his bullpen busy. Michael Givens has gotten up. Keep an eye on Grissom. He's got a 2-for-2 mark in stolen bases. Here is Robbie Grossman, who had a 3-run homer his last time up.
I told you I would have needed one more run, Chip. I would have needed one more run to be comfortable with bringing someone else in.
Barring a double play, you're going to bring Acuna up. 1 ball, no strikes. And Michael Givens has faced the Braves earlier this year. He gave up 3 runs in an inning. Diaz pitched the 8th. He was taken down with a 4-run lead. That leads now 2. As Vaughn Grissom singles home Contreras and Harris in the 9th.
What a crazy game.
Just what you'd expect against the 2 best teams in the division, right?
True.
One ball, 1 strike. Good slider. Grossman has the left side of the infield if he can guide a 2-strike pitch that way. If he reaches, Acuna becomes the winning run. Strike 3, a perfect pitch.
Yeah, I say this, his last 2 pitches were his best 2 pitches of the night. One on the outer part, and this one kind of that back foot and gets Grossman on the inside.
But the Mets aren't out of the woods yet. Ronald is up. 17 hits against the Mets this year. A home run ties the game. If he reaches, you've got Dansby.
Yep.
So 3 hits, 2 runs in the inning so far. The pitch. Had the plate put low. A Acuna is 2 for 5 against Trevor May. One of his best fastballs evens the count. Keep the line moving. However you can do it. The Braves are down to their last out. They're down 2. Acuna could tie it with a homer.
See if you can maybe get a hanging breaking pitch right here. Go that high fastball and see if he comes back with that slider here.
There's the slider driven toward right center field. And that ball is caught on the warning track by Marte. Acuna smoked it, and the Mets hang on in Game 3 of the series. Big league debut for Brett Baty, a home run and a Mets win. 9-7 tonight's final.
Ronald was thinking the same thing. He got a hanger and lined it to right field. Give the Braves a lot of credit. Chip, they fought back tonight the whole time, down, what, 4-0 to Max Scherzer, and you battle all the way back. You made them get Diaz in the 8th. You still have a shot to come out and win a series tomorrow. And we'll see who the Braves decide to throw against DeGrom. But look, you know, you got your work cut out for it. Whoever's pitching is going to have to throw a good game, and the hitter's going to come out. But a good feeling tonight. They've continued to swing the bats well. Hopefully that bodes well tomorrow.
Where the Braves try to take 3 out of 4 against the Mets and get that game back in the standings that they dropped tonight. 9-7 is the final. Max Scherzer beats Jake Odorizzi. And we will wrap things up for you on Braves Live in just a moment. Our coverage tomorrow starts Thursday at 6:30 Eastern on Valley Sports South. For Kelly Cole and Jeff Rancour and our entire crew, thanks for staying with us late on this rainy night. I'm Chip Carey. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next.